Director.
Actor, editor.
One on.
One.
Here with James Stark. Well, James, when's the last time we've done one of these?
Oh boy.
Wasn't it pre?
Pre Double Snare.
Oh man. Okay.
Yep.
So let's start with Devil's Snare. Now we just came out of a whole bunch of what we call acting class type of roles.
Yeah.
This is a real role for you. You play the sheriff.
Yep.
You know, you have crowds you're taking care of. You have a great bar scene where you have to calm everybody down.
Yep.
You're out front of the set house with people running at you and pushing on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a lot different than everything up to date that we've ever done with you.
No.
What do you think?
Well,
and cheers. This is the whiskey segment.
Right. Like I said earlier, I'm over 30 now. I can do this whenever I want.
Yeah, but we're in the freezer, so it helps having a little whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell me, what did you think of all of that?
So it was nice. I was just having this conversation with Luna and with Jared recently. Like, I feel like it was the first point that everything was really clearly laid out. Everything was like, I knew what was going on. I knew what was expected of me. Mm-hmm. And I knew exactly where my creative direction was allowed to go. Mm-hmm. And so I actually felt like I was freely able to take control over my role. And it worked out really nicely. So, like, I don't know. It was... I feel like it was the first time I was really able to just be who I was trying to be in the scene.
Right.
So, it was cool. I like...
Okay, no, I get
Yep.
it. Yeah, okay.
Not fantastic
but,
words.
No, but, you know, your scenes that you've had, you were really good. I mean, you have one right out here where people are running at you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, pushing on you, and you know, you're a big guy. But when you have, you know, 20 people running at you,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, you really, you know, took control of the situation.
Yep.
How did you feel about that? Now, is that an easier scene for you to do than, say, a one-on-one segment, you know, like with Raymond in, you know, in A2?
Actually, the Raymond thing in A2 was fun because I got to be snarky and kind of an asshole.
It actually cuts together really well too.
Yeah, which is cool because that's
really
that's
kind of
natural
funny
for me anyway. So
yeah,
I really don't mind either way. I have no fight or flight, or sorry, I specifically have no flight reflex. I've got a lot of fight reflex. So having a bunch of people run towards me, I have no natural reaction to be like, it's not there. So for me, it's just like,
because it seemed like you handled it
my
really
butt,
well.
stand up,
Yep.
and I'm like,
Yeah. And what did you think of Aaron that was working with you?
he was actually really good, and I'm looking forward to the possibility of working with him in the future.
And we did the Ranger with him, which is which if you haven't seen, it's a fun little music video about your character going off to get these bad guys, and you know you and Aaron have a shootout. Mm-hmm. And Christian's in that scene now, thinking about it.
Oh yeah, yep. Trying to rig the game. No.
What did you think of that? I mean, Aaron was a good guy. He was fun to work with.
Yeah, it was cool. Aaron is actually really nice. I like talking to him. He seems like a really solid person. And the acting was great. Everything worked out smoothly. We didn't have to reshoot a bunch. Like,
no,
it all just, we have pretty good chemistry.
Yeah, you guys do have good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that was your second project. So what? I mean, we did Devil's Snare. Okay, that is as completed. What do you think of the project so far? Now it's
Devil's Snare.
Yeah.
As a whole, I don't know how much of it I'm going to actually watch. I mean, it was fun to make, and it was fun to see everything coming together. And I'm excited to at least see how everything came together in the end, at least once. I'm not really a fan of horror movies because I find them incredibly boring.
Yeah.
But there's also that whole like actor perspective. You don't really want to watch something you've been in.
No, and I totally get that. No, but you're an editor.
Yeah.
Also, so by the time you get to see it, you've seen it a couple hundred times. Mm-hmm. I know I have. So I mean, you know, sitting there and watching a project that you've seen literally 100 times is not, you know, it's not a fun night out for me, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, I hope that the audience likes it, but not so much to myself. So now we go into Allure. Okay, you play the sheriff, but you're also behind the camera. Okay, several of the scenes, a lot of the perspective is on you in this movie. A lot of that is shot by you in this movie, and you're in front of the camera. That's a very interesting dual role. So how did you come to how did you work that out in your head?
I think you're giving me too much credit.
That's what this show is, man. I don't know that or the whiskey, right?
I live in the moment. I don't really dwell on it too much. I don't really think that I'm not a professional photographer.
But yet you take pictures as one.
Yeah, I'm coming to terms with the fact that I have an artistic point of view on a lot of things. And
now, don't you think that just by being an artistic person, and you really are. I mean, you don't know this about him, but he's a wonderful artist. You draw amazing pictures, my friend. So, by that perspective, do you think you also can use that in your acting as well, from that perspective?
I would accredit my ability to play a character more to the fact that I'm a nerd and I've played a lot of DnA.
Okay.
But given the ability to take control over my role, I will be able to more fully do interesting things with my character.
And you got a lot of interesting characters coming up.
Yep.
Okay. After now A2 is done, we're moving into Ghosties, which we're filming next week, which is one of the main reasons why you're here. Yeah. Tell us about you're playing Gerald. You're in this. I mean, it's a total. I mean, we've had James. We've killed James probably 60 times. Okay, but we've also James is now not in makeup. I mean, this is you're a historian.
Yeah.
I mean, you have funny lines. You have you're being attacked by demons and ghosts in this movie.
And nobody believes it.
But you barely lived through this. I mean, it's a real... You tell me, what do you think? What do you think about the journey you're about to go on? How's that?
It sounds really exciting, and I love the dual-layered potential of something that's going to be cute and whimsical and funny and adventurous, and then in the background you still have the horror element. So you're like, am I watching a scary movie? Or am I watching a children's movie?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And it's going to be two carefully layered together stories in one story, essentially, while we're establishing the fact that the paranormal is very much real and actually normal. But nobody else seems to get it.
That's what's funny about Ghosties, okay? Is that you and Christian play these kind of serious roles. Yeah. And the couple in this scenario just is clueless half the time. Just, I don't see anything. I mean, it's a lot of sight gags. I mean, we have a scene where we're dragging you back from you're crawling out of a room and you get dragged back. I mean, a lot of funny sight gags. I mean, which is the first time you've got to experience anything like this.
Yep, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
and it'll be nice to not be perceived as the large, intimidating person I'm normally perceived as.
And I think that was one of the compelling things about the Gerald character was it's actually written. It's not written for a big guy or a small guy. It's just written for a guy, and you got a lot of complexity in this. I mean, your character does a whole arc. Yours and Peter's character is probably the two best characters. I mean, yours and Christian. I love it because you guys get to go on this really fantastic, and the audience gets to go with you on this great ride. I mean, you're the eyes and the soul of the audience.
Yep.
I really enjoyed writing the script. I would, just listening to the words in my head when we were writing them, it sounds like you.
Yep.
So
don't make it weird. No worries.
But after this, then you go into I Kill Demons, and this is a starring role for you. You go from, Devil's Snare, where you're a featured actor, and now we're going into a starring role for you, a real starring role.
And then I get to actually be the bad.
You really are the big evil in this.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's how do you go from Ghosties, this lovable character that people are going to want to dress like, to this character that people are going to want to run from.
I really can't explain it. It's honestly just a simple switch for me. And I think it'll be a lot of fun being able to actually not just be the. I'm not gonna be the kind of bad guy that's just like, oh, I'm just gonna crush you. I'm gonna be like smart, devious, and
well, yeah,
like,
and I mean, this starts off us, in the 1500s. I mean, it's a real layered story. It's every bit as big as Allure, maybe even bigger, because we start off in the 1500s. I mean, there's a period little section in it. Then it's modern day. I mean, whew.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
And now next year, we have a lot of other roles coming up. What do you want to do next year? Well, what is your goal for James moving forward?
Oh, so honestly, I'm torn. I'm on the fence. I love the acting portion, but
You're getting really good at it.
And the more
dang.
I do the editing, the more I learn about the programs. I love to learn. Bottom line, my entire life, I love to learn.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I wanted to be involved with technology in the first place, is because I knew every year everything is going to be different. I'm going to have to go back to school constantly. I'm going to have to learn for the rest of my life, and that's perfect. I want that. But now I have more things to learn. So now I got to figure out, do I want to kind of walk the line in between the two? Do I want to pick a direction? I don't know. I'm still working on that. Right now, I'm just having fun being involved, and I'm getting to meet new people, and I'm getting to learn new technology, and I'm getting to...
And more technology when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
I mean, your acting has went from being good to really, dude, pro level. I mean, you are an actor. I mean, that's not... And you're young. You're a young, good-looking guy who's going... I'm just saying, I mean, you have a long run here, and you can do anything you want. What about directing? Is that something that you may want to do?
With my own ideas? I don't know how well I would be able to direct somebody else's idea. There are stories that I have in my mind that I've been working on since middle school.
That's what you were saying.
They are definitely stories that I want to see come to life.
Yeah. Otherwise, why still work on them? Right? I mean, there's something that's playing on that string in your mind that keeps pulling that string. So why not develop it all the way out?
Yeah.
Given
the time and experience, I think it would be a possibility for sure.
So what do you think of your ride here? I mean, you've been here 14 months now, and you went from, an extra to starring in a movie next month. That's a hell of a ride, my friend. That's a hell of a ride.
It's been a ride, yeah. It's crazy, and it's chaos, and there's always going to be people who try to stand in your way, and you always got to move on and get over it and stop dwelling in the past. Jeez. So, you do what you do. You just got to keep trying to be better and keep moving forward. And I think that's what we're doing, and I think that's why I'm so interested in everything going on here.
That's the thing that has always kept me interested in film, is that no matter what, it is it's like a Rubik's Cube you can never figure out. It's like playing music. it's endless. The ideas, the possibilities, and even though the mechanics are still there about putting together the film, the editing, the mechanics are still there, but there's still a world of creativity that can come from it. And that's what I love. And I can see you kind of love that too, James.
But, yeah, so...
All right, buddy. I just say director, actor.
Yep, director, actor. Or not director, actor. Wow, he's the director. I'm an actor, editor.
Hey, these guys in Lynchburg knows how to make the fucking whiskey. What can I say?
I need another drink.
The whiskey segment of director, actor. One on.
One.